Okay, we're live.
Okay, you got people coming in?
Mhm.
Okay. Welcome to the Irvington Architecture Review Board for January 27th, 2025. We are going to flip-flop a little bit on the schedule because we have some people that need to get in and out. And we also have a situation where one of our board members is going to have to recuse because it's her house, and we will take the third member of the ARB from the internet, which he has signed in, and we will go from there. So in order to start, why don't we go right to ARB 20? Oh, if you're going to please raise your hand and let Sarah know that you're here, so you can be let into the meeting. And if you're not the applicant, or even if you are the applicant, please let us know who you are and who you represent if you're not the applicant. Okay, 2025-02, 23 Beechwood Road, a window. I think we're gonna have to have you just show it.
He should, the architect's
No,
on.
okay.
Oh, he is. Oh, okay.
Let's just go with.
All right. Didn't know.
Good evening. Can everyone hear me okay?
Yep.
Very good. My name is Bill Witt. I'm the architect for the project at 23 Beechwood, representing the Mossbergs. If I could share my screen, I can go over the project very quickly with you.
You do.
Okay, are we able to see this?
You are?
Excellent. So essentially, this is an interior renovation of the existing primary bedroom suite. The house currently has an internal bathroom. We're going to be switching it from the closet, from the front to the middle of the house to the back of the house. And in doing so, we'd like to add a window where currently there is no window. So here is the new bathroom on the second floor. Here is our proposed window above the toilet. And here you can see it in the rear elevation of the house. So this is the proposed rear elevation with our new window. And I think that in this image, you can see the existing rear wall where the window is not, and the existing walk-in closet. So we're essentially going from this on the back of the house to this on the back of the house with a new window. The new window will be an Andersen white clad window to match the existing. The siding and trim will all be patched in to match existing, and we're not proposing any new exterior materials or colors.
Okay. Sounds simple enough. I didn't have any questions to start off with, but I will ask the two gentlemen on the board if they do have any additional questions.
No.
No?
No.
Okay. On?
No.
Okay. I will then make a motion to approve. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay.
Aye.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Have a good evening.
You too. All right. We will go back to the first item which is 2025-01, 32 South Ferris Street, siding.
Can you see me?
We can hear you. We can't see you.
Okay. Oh, here we go. Sorry.
This
There
is
we go.
already turned.
Good evening.
Mr. Balducci, how are you?
This is Lenny Capuano from Lenco.
Yeah. Okay.
So we're changing the siding at 32 South Ferris from the existing old wood planks to the new hardy board that you have in your hands.
Okay, which I just showed to the other two board members. Do you have anything to bring up to show us?
No, I don't, because we don't really have a drawing, because we're just swapping out. We're not really doing anything structural other than just taking off what's there and replacing with the new siding.
Okay. Sarah, was there anything in the application? Did you pull it up? Sure, if there was nothing, I would have asked for something.
Yes, for the sample.
Yeah, I didn't see it wrong. It's just,
You did or didn't?
just pictures. Are you removing the stucco and putting the hardy plank up?
No, that's in the front of the house. We're not touching that.
And then the stucco on the back of the house, you're not touching either.
Correct. Correct. Just where the existing siding is.
Let's just slowly go through the pictures. I recall this now.
You'd see it's time.
Yeah,
That's it.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you for making me recall it.
Sure.
I don't have any additional questions other than the fact that I wanted to see a sample of the, see a sample of the hardy plank, and
Yep.
you've graciously sent that to us. We've looked at it. I have no additional questions. Any questions?
No.
No questions, no additional questions. I will therefore make a motion to approve. Do I have a second? All in favor? Aye. Thank you very much.
Thank you all. Have a great night.
Yep.
Thanks so much.
You too. Okay. We will then move on to 2025-03, 200 Harriman Road, exterior elevation change.
How you doing? Can you guys hear me?
We can. Nice
Great.
to see you.
My name's Andrew Hunt. I'm with Hunt Architecture and representing the clients at 200 Harriman in what they are looking to do with an exterior facade renovation. So let me share my screen here.
Thank you.
Just tell me when you can see. Let's see here. So, actually, apologies there. Let me grab this one here. All right. So what we're looking to do here, I'll take you through this is an image of kind of what the proposed is with a proposed vertical composite slat siding that'll be at the upper portion of the renovation and a lower ledge stone masonry kind of datum line at the bottom here. I'll take you through a few slides around the exterior of the building, followed by some kind of renders of what the new is going to be like. So what you see here is a lower cedar siding and an older pressure or painted stained cedar that's a vertical it's been there for quite some years. There's some repair needed and maintenance, so they're looking for an overall refresh. And so what we are proposing is, again, it's kind of the geometry of the building itself is a very blocky and a lot of angles and hard corners. And so what we're trying to do with the massing of the black composite facade is kind of tone that down a bit, make everything a bit more monolithic in its look, and create some shadow lines and where the windows are with some depth and profile that allows you to read the depth of these window punctures in a different way. These are a few around the rear of the facade that we zoomed into some details of how the lower siding and the upper kind of come together at the corner conditions in the windows. Again, around this side of the piece here. And there's the rear piece of the facade. And I'll show you one image as well that I think is helpful. And let's see here to illustrate what we're a few of these on here, but this is a good example here of how the vertical siding and the windows will look to come together, where we create that a little bit of depth in the window pocket with a raised piece of trim. So all the existing facade siding would come off. The vapor barrier of the house would be looked around. I think replaced as noted in the drawings, the vapor barrier regardless, just to make sure that we have a clean skin on the inside of that. And then new siding and trim would go up, but otherwise the thermal barrier of the facade does not change. But that's the ask. By all means, any questions or comments, I'd love to hear them. Let's see here.
Was there any additional cuts or any other info on the wood planking that you can, or is that your interpretation of what we should have?
Well, so that was one comment that was given to us by the prior to the meeting, was to drop off some cut sheets, and I brought by cut sheets respect of the material from the site and the install manual that were distributed to Sarah. Hard copies of those, just so you get a little bit of read. I have a physical sample I'm happy to drop by tomorrow if that's helpful, just to have for context.
Do you have anything you could show us tonight of what it is you dropped off?
The spec, let's see. Sarah, do you have that handy? Or I could pull up their website. That's by all means something that we could do. That it came from there, but let me see if
it has it.
Okay.
Let's see.
What is this material?
It's a wood plank is the brand. It is a composite, not too dissimilar to a hardy board. And it's after Sarah can look through this piece with us, I can show you the actual physical sample. So it kind of is a tongue and groove shiplap system that is installed over batten slats that are fixed to the facade. Here's a good example. Thank you, Sarah. If you just kind of scroll through this at your leisure here, and so it runs at 16-foot vertical lengths, and each panel piece is probably about 9 inches wide. There's a fastener that goes back to the battens as they're set up around the facade, as you can see here, and then they kind of lap over each other. So in the lower portion there, you can see the cells of the piece that allows drainage through the product. Nothing really gets trapped behind there. And then there's also the barrier behind where the battens are. And then there's corner pieces and composite trim pieces that will surround the windows. So lifespan similar to a hardy board product. I say that because it's a known entity, right? Lifespan is in the 30s of years as it's recommended by the manufacturer. Should give a long and consistent look to the facade.
So this is a cementatious or a?
It's not cementitious. No, it's let's see here. What's the best way to describe that? I'd say it's more of like a polymer composite product here. I can show you the and again I'll drop off a physical sample tomorrow so it can be reviewed by yourselves. But it's stiff and rigid. It doesn't have thermal properties. Doesn't respond to heat or cold in a shape changing manner. Cells there, and as you can see, the kind of like this portion gets drilled in, and then the next piece as it comes over there laps that. So there's no visible seams other than obviously the vertical reveals, but no visible fasteners on the facade, which is helpful too.
Two questions. Yep. Okay. I had no additional questions. Okay. I will then make a motion to approve. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. We're good to go. Thank you very
Great.
much.
Thank you for your time. Really appreciate it.
No problem. Do we know if both parties are in, or should we just go to them?
Over here, yeah.
All right, well, then we'll stick with the program. Okay. We will now go to ARB 2025-04, 57 Hillside Terrace. Another exterior elevation change.
Hello, good evening.
How we doing?
Thank you for your patience. I am bringing it up as we speak.
Okay,
Uh,
want to let us know who you are?
yes, my name is Cyrus Miandwabi, Integral Engineering Services, 27 Main Street, representing the owner.
Okay.
Share the screen. Here is the presentation. Okay. As I said, my name is Cyrus. I'm representing the owners at 57 Hillside Terrace. We are in the 1F-10 zone. It's at the end of a cul-de-sac at the Hillside Terrace. The scope of work is there's two main features of the house that we are proposing to change. At the front of the building, we have the removal and replacement of railings. And the second is a front new doorway. At the back of the building, there's a conversion of existing window from a pre-existing door. So it was originally a door, which it was changed by the previous owners to a window, and we'd like to change that to a door. The front of the house, this was the existing condition in 2018. Since then, there has been some renovations completed already. The railings in the front were a safety hazard, and those were recently replaced right before the holidays because the owners wanted to entertain some guests at their house. But this is what it originally looked like. It was a vinyl rail with posts into that patio. The neighborhood, this is an old style that's right across the street, but predominantly on the street, they are all capes. The proposed elevations, like I said, there's two main elevations that are being proposed to be changed. At the rear of the building, this is where I had alluded to where there was an existing doorway that was changed to a window, and we proposing to change that back to a doorway. At the front, these railings have already been replaced, but the doorway has not been replaced yet. And we are seeking approval from your board.
The railings are of what material?
Cedar.
Okay.
I have pictures later on. Oh, but the exterior siding, we're proposing to change the color from that like light sage to a little darker brownish green. The doorway in the back will be oyster pearl white, and then the front door will be like a sun-dried tomato red. That's like a burnt red. So this is the
All the structure above the door is existing?
everything above the door is existing. All of this
No. In the back.
in the back,
And
correct. All of that is existing. The only change is to this one door.
What I mean, the structure above that door is there. It was never
Correct.
changed even. It was
Yes.
changed to a window.
That's all existing. It's the little canopy outside the doorway.
Right.
So
Okay.
it was an existing, it was a doorway previous. Someone screwed this bottom leaf shut and replaced it with a window. And now we're
Creative.
proposing to keep this, well, to change it back to a doorway.
Thank you for that. Okay.
This is the front doorway. This is the existing. I guess they were doing some, when I was there taking pictures, they were doing some paint samples on the exterior of the house. But basically, the major change that we're proposing is to increase, from the size of the skylights. but none of the architectural features are going to change. It's everything inboard of that. As I said previously, the railings were already replaced. The old railings I took a picture of, they were, standard white PVC, I believe. But now we've have cedar, and we intend to keep it as that natural wood finish.
Very nice, put together, certainly nicer than the white. And the PVC. Okay, anything else that needs to be discussed?
No, that's really it.
Okay, I didn't have any initial questions, and none have come up, so I will ask the rest of the board, is there anything that you need to hear about?
No.
No? Okay, that having been said, I will make a motion to approve. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Good night.
You too. Okay. Last but not least, ARB 2025-05, 19 South Ecker, solar.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi. I'm Eric. I'm with Rivertown Solar. So yeah, this is a pretty straightforward ballasted rooftop solar project at 19 South Ecker. I could show you a digital visual of the system here. So each of these, this is an Iron Ridge BX ballast product. At the base here, you're looking at about 7 inches, and here it's about a foot at the highest point.
And how high is the parapet?
The parapet is 3 inches.
So you can see the height of the you can see the actual cell because the parapet is not high enough to cover it. Is that correct?
You can barely see it. We did a similar installation at 90 Fargo where it was a very similar ballasted product. And yeah, you cannot see these from the street at all. But if you're on a hilltop or maybe at a different angle, you could. But from our vantage point when we walked on the street, it's totally visible. And we did a similar installation in 90 Fargo Lane. And where the houses actually goes down a slope, and there's a parapet, and you could see a tiny little edge from some vantage points of the module's top end.
If I recall that application, however, because you could see it, it was pushed 4 feet into the center of the roof. I mean, our code calls for says on a flat roof, the equipment shall not extend above the cornice or parapet. Where there is no cornice or parapet, the equipment shall be set back from the roof edges 4 feet for each foot of solar energy system height. So technically, if you can see, if those are higher than the parapet, they should be 4 feet in, but I don't know what that's going to do to your 3 foot code required space on the other side of the array.
Yeah, that would definitely cut into the production of the system a lot for the homeowner who's really keen on going green and making an environmental an impact. So
As are we, but I have codes that I have to abide by, unfortunately. I had asked a couple of weeks ago for a roof section, including the panels and the parapet. and I don't know whether or not I didn't get it because,
Well, so we did order that, and our engineer, who's a solar specific engineer, is in Utah, and he just delivered the plan set. They just got mailed to us, I think, yesterday. So we'll definitely drop that off. But I believe the parapet, yeah, it's going to go over the parapet about 7 inches or so, I think.
What is the setback then from the front?
I'm sorry.
What's the setback of the panels from the front of the building?
Let me see if I have that from our plan set.
it's the left side that we're concerned
Oh,
about.
the left side.
Yeah.
Yeah, so what we don't really have much of a setback on the front, but we do have the fire access lane. That's required by, the fire code.
Is there a parapet in front of the house?
There is, I believe the parapet goes all the way around it goes all the way around. Yeah, and from what I saw, I mean, if you just walk that street, it's really invisible. Not even, it's much less visible than it's much less visible than the 90 Fargo. And we also did another installation at 13 North Continent with a flat roof, very similar, really right up to the edge. There was no parapet, and I believe that's in the historical district, and we were given a waiver for that, or we got through it somehow. I'm not sure, but
How long ago was that?
2022.
We can't get a waiver on the code.
I mean, or that was installed, and was permitted and installed. We went through the RB. That's at 13 North Continent. David Zweibel and Elaine Katz.
I don't recall, not
I believe it was-
enforcing the code on any.
Right. Well, I'm not sure if it was. I don't know how we ended up how it got through, but it was very similar. I'm not sure if there was a parapet or if there was a similar if it was if this issue had come up, but it's a very similar installation. It's a similar type of house. It has a flat roof, a TPO roof. It's in the same district. It's the same sort of setback front to back with most of the the same layout. I mean, if we made the panels if we went with a totally so there was one difference in that project. We didn't use the ballasted system. The panels were totally flat to the roof. Is that what we would need to do?
To get an approval, tonight, I think so.
And that's what we'll do.
All right, can you tell me what the distance from the right side of the panels to the parapet on the right side? What that distance is? Is it more than 3 feet?
It's more than 3 feet, yes.
Can we move the panels over to mitigate any sight line, or to certainly reduce?
I mean, we could take these. Well, we need that.
Yeah, I know.
We need that.
But if that's more than 3 feet, you need 3 feet. If it's more than 3 feet, and if you put them flat and you move them
just
over,
over 3 feet, I don't think we have enough. I don't think we have a lot of room there to redesign this and keep that access lane.
do we know what the height of the panel will be from the roof to the top of the panel? If you lay them flat?
About 4 to the top of the panel, 4 inches, 4 to 5 inches, 4.5 inches, 5 inches.
And the parapet is what you said?
Parapet is 3 inches.
Okay. In addition to sightline, we're concerned about wind getting under the panels to lift them up and rip them up.
We
But
definitely
if we're
have.
talking,
Yeah.
Say again?
Well, yeah, that's the that's the engineer's calcs with ballast and all that. But if it makes sense, we could do exactly like we did at 13 North Continent, which we used a product called RT Mini, and it's just straight flat it's totally flat. And
Okay.
it'd be right there with the parapet. Pretty much.
Okay. Before we make a decision, I have to open this up to a public hearing. Do I have a motion to open a public hearing? Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Got nobody coming in. I just want to give them an opportunity to have something to say if they do. Okay. Nobody has raised their hand or has said anything in the chat. I will make a motion to close the public hearing. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, I will ask the rest of the board, if they have any questions or concerns about allowing, a flat, array, with just 1 inch of the top of the panel, being seen over the height of the parapet, which will not allow air to get underneath wind to get underneath the panels and rip them up. Anybody have any questions or concerns about that?
I'm good with that.
Okay. Okay, at this point, I will make a conditional approval to make sure that the panels are lay flat and that they're no higher than 4 or 5 inches above the height of the roof. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. You have your conditional approval and the paperwork will state what the condition is when you get your permit.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Thank you. Any other issues, concerns before we adjourn? Okay, thank you for coming. I will make a motion to adjourn. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in